Section 2 of An Englishwoman's Love Letters. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. An Englishwoman's Love Letters by Anonymous. Section 2, Letters 5 through 9. Letter 5. Most beloved, I have been thinking, staring at this blank piece of paper, and wondering how there am I ever to say what I have in me here, not wishing to say anything at all, just to be. I feel that I am living now only because you love me, and that my life will have run out, like this penful of ink, when that use in me is past. Not yet, beloved, oh, not yet. Nothing is finished that we have to do and be, hardly begun. I will not call even this midsummer, however much it seems so. It is still only spring. Every day your love binds me more deeply than I knew the day before, so that no day is the same now, but each one a little happier than the last. My own, you are my very own. And yet, true as that is, it is not so true that I am your own. It is less absolute, I mean, and must be so, because I cannot very well take possession of anything when I am given over heart and soul out of my own possession. There isn't enough identity left in me. I am yours so much, so much. All this is useless to say, yet what can I say else, if I have to begin saying anything? Could I truly be your star and goddess, as you call me, beloved, I would do you the service of Thetis at least, who did it for a greater than herself. Bid heaven and earth combine their charms, and round you early, round you late, by Ares fold his 100 arms, to guard you from your single fate. But I haven't got power over an 8-armed octopus even, so am merely a very helpless, loving nonentity, which merges itself most happily in you, and begs to be lifted to no pedestal at all, at all. If you love me in a manner that is at all possible, you will see that goddess does not suit me. Star I would I were now, with a wide eye to carry my looks to you over this horizon which keeps you invisible. Choose one if you will, dearest, and call it mine, and to me it shall be yours, so that when we are apart and the stars come out, our eyes may meet up at the same point in the heavens, and be keeping company for us among the celestial bodies, with their permission. For I have too lively a sense of their beauty not to be a little superstitious about them. Have you not felt for yourself a sort of physiognomy in the constellations, most of them seeming benevolent and full of kind regards, but not at all? I am always glad when the Great Bear goes away from my window. Fine beast though he is, he seems to growl at me. No doubt it is largely a question of names, and what's in a name? In yours, beloved, when I speak it, more than I can compass. Letter 6. Beloved, I have been trusting to fate, while keeping silence, that something from you was to come to-day and make me specially happy. And it has, bless you abundantly. You have undone and got round all I said about jewelry, though this is nothing of the sort, but a shrine, so my word remains. I have it with me now, safe hidden, only now and then it comes out to have a look at me, smiles, and goes back again. Dearest, you must feel how I thank you, for I cannot say it. Body and soul I grow too much blessed with all that you have given me, both visibly and invisibly, and always perfectly. And as for the day, I have been thinking you the most uncurious of men, because you had not asked, and supposed it was too early days yet for you to remember that I had ever been born. To-day is my birthday. You said nothing, so I said nothing, and yet this has come. I trusted my star to show its sweet influences in its own way. Or, after all, did you know, and had you asked any one but me? Yet had you known, you would have wished me the happy returns which among all your dear words to me you do not. So I take it that the motion comes straight to you from heaven; and, in the event, you will pardon me for having been still secretive and shy in not telling what you did not inquire after. Yours I knew, dear, quite long ago, so had no need to ask you for it; and it is 6 months before you will be in the same year with me again, and give to 22 all the companionable sweetness that 21 has been having. Many happy returns of my birthday to you, dearest. That is all that my birthdays are for. Have you been happy to day, I wonder? And am wondering also whether this evening we shall see you walking quietly in, and making everything into perfection that has been trembling just on the verge of it all day long. One drawback of my feast is that I have to write short to you, for there are other correspondents who on this occasion look for quick answers, and not all of them to be answered in an off-hand way. Except you, it is the coziest, whom I keep waiting. But elders have a way with them, even kind ones, and when they condescend to write upon an anniversary, we have to skip to attention, or be in their bad books at once. So with the sun still a long way out of bed, I have to tuck up these sheets for you, as if the good of the day had already been sufficient unto itself, and its full tale had been told. Good night. It is so hard to take my hands off writing to you, and worry on at the same exercise in another direction. I kiss you more times than I can count. It is almost really you that I kiss now, my very dearest, my own sweetheart, whom I worship. Good night. Good afternoon sounds too funny. It is outside our vocabulary altogether. While I live I must love you more than I know. Letter 7. My friend, do you think this a cold way of beginning? I do not. Is it not the true send-off of love? I do not know how men fall in love, but I could not have had that come down in your direction without being your friend first. Oh, my dear, and after, it is but a limitless friendship I have grown into. I have heard men run down the friendships of women as having little true substance. Those who speak so, I think, have never come across a real case of women's friendship. I praise my own sex, dearest, for I know some of their loneliness, which you do not; and until a certain date their friendship was the deepest thing in life I had met with. For must it not be true that a woman becomes more absorbed in friendship than a man, since friendship may have to mean so much more to her, and cover so far more of her life, than it does to the average man? However big a man's capacity for friendship, the beauty of it does not fill his whole horizon for the future. He still looks ahead of it for the mate who will complete his life, giving his body and soul the complement they require. Friendship alone does not satisfy him. He makes a bigger claim on life, regarding certain possessions as his right. But a woman, oh, it is a fashion to say the best women are sure to find husbands, and have, if they care for it, the certainty before them of a full life. I know it is not so. There are women, wonderful ones, who come to know quite early in life that no men will ever wish to make wives of them. For them, then, love in friendship is all that remains, and the strongest wish of all that can pass through their souls with hope for its fulfillment is to be a friend to somebody. It is a man's arrogant certainty of his future which makes him impatient of the word friendship. It cools life to his lips. He is so confident that the headier nectar is his due. I came upon a little phrase the other day that touched me so deeply. It said so well what I have wanted to say since we have known each other. Some peasant rhymer, an Irishman, in singing his love's praises, and sinks his voice from the height of his passionate superlatives to call her his share of the world. Peasant and Irishman, he knew that his fortune did not embrace the universe, but for him his love was just that, his share of the world. Surely, when in anyone's friendship we seem to have gained our share of the world, that is all that can be said. It means all that we can take in, the whole armful the heart and senses are capable of, or that fate can bestow. And for how many that must be friendship, especially for how many women. My dear, you are my share of the world, also my share of heaven. But there I begin to speak of what I do not know, as is the way with happy humanity. All that my eyes could dream of waking or sleeping, all that my ears could be most glad to hear, all that my heart could beat faster to get hold of, your friendship gave me suddenly as a bolt from the blue. My friend, my friend, my friend! If you could change or go out of my life now, the sun would drop out of my heavens. I should see the world with a great piece gashed out of its side. My share of it is gone. No, I should not see it. I don't think I should see anything ever again, not truly. Is it not strange how often to test our happiness we harp on sorrow? I do. Don't let it weary you. I know I have read somewhere that great love always entails pain. I have not found it yet, but for me it does mean fear. The sort of fear I had as a child, going into big buildings. I loved them, but I feared, because of their bigness, they were likely to tumble on me. But when I begin to think you may be too big for me, I remember you as my friend, and the fear goes for a time, or becomes that sort of fear I would not part with if I might. I have no news for you, only the old things to tell you, the wonder of which remains new. How holy your face has become to me, as I saw it last, with something more than the usual proofs of love for me upon it, a look as if your love troubled you. I know the trouble, I feel it, dearest, in my own woman's way. Have patience. When I see you so, I feel that prayer is the only way given me for saying what my love for you wishes to be. And yet I hardly ever pray in words. Dearest, be happy when you get this, and when you can, come and give my happiness its rest. Till then it is a watchman on the lookout. Night, night, your true sleepy one. Letter 8. Now why, I wanted to know, beloved, was I so specially good to you in my last? I have been quite as good to you 50 times before, if such a thing can be from me to you. Or do you mean good for you? Then, dear, I must be sorry that the thing stands out so much as an exception. Oh, dearest beloved, for a little I think I must not love you so much, or must not let you see it. When does your mother return, and when am I to see her? I long to so much. Has she still not written to you about our news? I woke last night to the sound of a great flock of sheep going past. I suppose they were going by forced marches to the fair over at Hylesbury. It was in the small hours, and a few of them lifted up their voices and complained of this robbery of night and sleep in the night. They were so tired, they said, and so did the muffle-wally patter of their poor feet. The lambs said most, and the sheep agreed with a husky croak. I said a prayer for them, and went to sleep again as the sound of the lambs died away. But somehow they stick in my heart, those sad sheep driven along through the night. It was in its degree like the woman hurrying along who said, my God," that summer Sunday morning. These notes from lives that appear and disappear remain endlessly, and I do not think our hearts can have been made so sensitive to suffering we can do nothing to relieve without some good reason. So I tell you this, as I would any sorrow of my own, because it has become a part of me, and is underlying all that I think to-day. I am to expect you the day after tomorrow, but not for certain. Thus you give and you take away, equally blessed in either case. All the same, I shall certainly expect you, and be disappointed if on Thursday at about this hour your way be not my way. How shall I my true love know, if he does not come often enough to see me? Sunshine, be on you all possible hours till we meet again. Letter 9. Beloved, is the morning looking at you as it is looking at me? A little to the right of the sun there lies a small cloud, filmy and faint, but enough to cast a shadow somewhere. From this window, high up over the view, I cannot see where the shadow of it falls. further than my eye can reach, perhaps just now over you, since you lie further west. But I cannot be sure. We cannot be sure about the near things in this world, only about what is far off and fixed. You and I looking up see the same sun, if there are no clouds over us, but we may not be looking at the same clouds, even when both our hearts are in shadow. That is so, even when hearts are close together as yours and mine. They respond to the same light, but each one has its own roof of shadow, wearing its rue with a world of difference. Why is it? Why can no two of us have sorrows quite in common? What can be nearer together than our wills to be one? In joy we are, and yet, though I reach and reach, and sadden if you are sad, I cannot make your sorrow my own. I suppose sorrow is of the earth earthy, and all that is of earth makes division. Every joy that belongs to the body casts shadows somewhere. I wonder if there can enter into us a joy that has no shadow anywhere. The joy of having you has behind it the shadow of parting. Is there any way of loving that would make parting no sorrow at all? To me now the idea seems treason. I cling to my sorrow that you are not here. I send up my cloud, as it were, to catch the sun's brightness. It is a kite that I pull with my heartstrings. To the sun of love the clouds that cover absence must look like white flowers in the green fields of earth, or like doves hovering, and he reaches down and strokes them with his warm beams, making all their feathers like gold. Some clouds let the gold come through. Mine now. That cloud I saw away to the right is coming this way toward me. I can see the shadow of it now, moving along a far-off strip of road, and I wonder if it could be your cloud, with you under it, coming to see me again. When you come, why am I happier than when I know you are coming? It is the same thing in love. I have you now, all in my mind's eye. I have you by heart. Have I my arms a bit more round you then than now? How it puzzles me that, when love is perfect, there should be disappearances and reappearances, and faces now and then showing a change. You actually, the last time you came, looking a day older than the day before. What was it? Had old age blown you a kiss, or given you a wrinkle in the art of dying? Or had you turned over some new leaf and found it withered on the other side? I could not see how it was. I heard you coming. It was spring. The door opened. Oh, it was autumnal. One day had fallen away like a leaf out of my forest, and I had not been there to see it go. At what hour of the 24 does a day shed itself out of our lives? Not, I think, on the stroke of the clock at midnight, or at cock-crow. Some people perhaps would say with the first sleep, and that the beauty sleep is the new day putting out its green wings. I think it must not be until something happens to make the new day a stronger impression than the last. So it would please me to think that your yesterday dropped off as you opened the door, and that had I peeped and seen you coming up the stairs, I should have seen you looking a day younger. That means that you age at the sight of me. I think you do. I feel 100 on the road to immortality directly your face dawns on me. There's a foot gone over my grave, the angel of the resurrection with his mouth pursed fast to his trumpet. Nothing else than the gallop of your horse. It sounds like a kettle boiling over. So this goes into hiding, listens to us all the while we talk, and comes out afterwards with all its blushes stale, to be rouged up again and sent off the moment your back is turned. No, better, to be slipped into your pocket and carried home to yourself by yourself. How, when you get to your destination and find it, you will curse yourself that you were not a speedier postman. End of section 2.